So I had a literal We're in the Matrix dream about 2 months ago. I'm a lucid dreamer. I literally always wake up in my dreams. I have been lucid dreaming since I was a kid. And after having this dream, I have not had a lucid dream in almost 2 months. So I've just decided that I'm going to talk about it because I have no idea what to make of it. You can go watch my dreams playlist on here if you want, but essentially I have lucid dreams all the time. I wake up at the smallest mention of something that is not based in reality. This is frequent for me. It has been happening since I was a little kid. It leads to some very cool dreams, some very interesting stuff, but this one was actually scary. So essentially I had a dream. It was just like all the other dreams. I was in my bedroom, I'm playing the piano. I think I'm 17. I'm at my parents' house. It starts out, I'm doing something kind of mundane and usual. And then I have this strong feeling if I look out of my bedroom window, it's not going to be, the view of the forest that was my parents' backyard. So I look out the window, sure enough, there's dream characters everywhere. There's streets. It's like a whole circus outside. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm dreaming. But I didn't want to say that out loud. And I was alone in my bedroom. So I was like, okay, so there's no dream characters here to kind of take me away. No dream police. So I sit down and I'm like, I'm just going to play the piano. I'm just going to sing. I'm just going to try to be creative in this space. Hopefully I don't wake up and that'll be fine. I'll just be kind of lucid here. So I'm playing the piano and my fingers start doing that dream thing where you're kind of getting sucked into stuff. The piano's kind of being weird. And so I get a little bit freaked out and I go I'm dreaming, stop, whatever. So immediately when I'm dreaming, cut. Immediately the piano stops being weird, the room stops being weird. I kind of look over to the door. There's a woman standing there with a clipboard. So then I'm in this room. This girl's there. She's got a little pixie cut. She's like, oh, you gotta go. She got the clipboard. I'm like, okay, I know I gotta go. But I'm like, can you just answer some questions for me? So she comes over, I'm sitting on my bed. And as I'm asking her these questions about why I have to leave and why I keep waking up in my dreams, I'm kind of looking around and all of a sudden the walls start to be weird. If you've ever seen Community and you know what the Dreamatorium is, it kind of starts glitching. It's am I in some sort of weird white room that has lines and it's almost like a projected virtual reality? That's what it looked like. So as this dream woman's talking to me, suddenly everything turns into this very it's a virtual reality space, and it's almost the VR dies and this other woman is standing there and she's she gets real weird. She's like, oh my God, no, I have to fix this. What? She's like, you were supposed to wake up. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're just not supposed to be able to access this space while you're in a dream. You should not be here. And I don't know how you got here. And we are going to be in a lot of trouble. And I was like, what do you mean by we? So essentially she takes me out of this room and we are on some sort of a spacecraft, and she takes me over to this screen. It's in the wall and it's showing past dreams that I've had from this camera perspective, and I'm seeing them and I remember that I've had these dreams. I'm like, how do you have access to this? She's like, I actually have this whole file on you. We've been watching you and essentially, we know that you can lucid dream, but you're not supposed to be able to leave the dream and come into what is here reality. And I'm on literally, it's a spacecraft, but it was very weird. And essentially she keeps showing me the moments in dreams when I become awake. And she's like, humans aren't supposed to be able to do that. And we don't know why you can do that. But this is you waking up in all your dreams. And there is this shift in the dream. And I can see it from a third person point of view instead of my experience. But it's all dreams that I remember having in the past. And I'm like, I just want to explore. So I don't know what you're talking about. She's just like, no, it goes beyond that. You shouldn't be able to do this. She brings out this folder and it's numbered. I have a number, a case number. And she's just like, yeah, your number, whatever. And we've been watching you for a while because you can do this and nobody else can. And we just want to know why. But essentially we're going to have to stop it from happening. So I'm not going to lie, at this point, I start getting really freaked out because I'm lucid. I'm physically in a body. I'm there. Everything feels very, very real. And I'm fully aware of who I am. I know that I'm back asleep on Earth. I'm in a dream. I know everything, but I also have all these memories of all of my dreams as well. And so she takes me into this room and it's a waiting room and there's all these people who are dreaming and they're catatonic and they all have these handlers, but literally they're catatonic. I'm trying to look at them, get their attention. Nobody is responding. They're all asleep and something's wrong with them or wrong with their dreams. And they're waiting to be kind of processed. And they're in this room. So then these military people come up to me. They're not United States military. It literally I don't know how to explain it. They seemed human to me, but it felt futuristic or alien or something. I don't quite know. It was this group of people. And they come and they escort me to a bridge of some sort. Not a full bridge, the bridge of a ship. And this is where it gets really weird, but they start asking me about like vaccines or like shots or something. Like they're asking me about that. And I'm like, yeah, like I've got all the shots on Earth that I'm supposed to get. And they were just like, no, like something's wrong with your DNA. Like you're not supposed to be able to wake up here. Like we're going to have to give you this injection and then you'll never be able to lucid dream again. And I was like, excuse me, what? And this handler woman's like apologized. She's like, I'm really sorry that we have to do this, but like we have to do it. You can't be here. And so I'm just like, what are you talking about? They start talking about like B12. I don't know where that came from. They started talking about like certain genes, and then they put these like dots on my veins. I was like, get off of me. But I like can't wake up. I'm lucid, but I can't wake up myself at all. So essentially I have this conversation with these like higher ups, like whoever are the captain or whatever. And they're telling me that like, they're asking me questions. They're asking me about my experience. I'm asking them about like why I can't be there. They're kind of being like, well, that's classified, whatever. And then they like prepare this injection and they give my handler like a shot, and they're just like, okay, you're gonna have to like take her back to the room, give her this injection, and she's never gonna be able to lucid dream again. And I'm like, what? So I get taken back to the room, right, with this woman, and I'm like, please don't do this. Like, I love lucid dreaming. I don't want to not be able to lucid dream. And I kind of asked her, I was like, what is the problem? She's like, she said something about like, I'm able to see beyond and I shouldn't be able to like push through the layers of that reality, but I can, and it's dangerous. So I was like, please don't do this. So then she goes and she leans in and she like doesn't give me the shot. She like squirts it out. She's just like, I'm actually a huge fan. Like I've watched your videos, like I've been following you, and I've asked to be assigned to this case because I have been watching you essentially like your whole life. And I think this is like really amazing that you can do this. She's just sort of like, I'm going to help you out. And so essentially she told me to just try to like pull my consciousness back, try to be like as unconscious catatonic as I can be. And like I started crying and she's like, that's fine, but like you have to just like wake yourself up. So I just like pulled my consciousness back and I was like sobbing and I woke myself up. And then it was crazy because essentially like she was telling me like, if they find out I didn't give you the shot, like they're gonna come looking for you. They don't want you to be able to like dream like this again. And then when I woke up, I literally had like 104-degree fever. I was not sick when I went to bed, and then I woke up with this 104-degree fever. Felt like I was dying, and I was sick for like 4 days with like this horrible flu that came out of nowhere when I had that dream. And ever since then, I haven't had another lucid dream. Like at all. In fact, I'm having like weirdly normal dreams, like dreams about stressful things going on in my life, like dreams that would wake me up, and I have not had another lucid dream. So I don't know what to make of that. It really scared me. And to be fair, actually, like I got so delirious with fever. I was like, I told my fiance about this dream, and then I was like, I am going to like go back to sleep, and I'm going to make a deal with the people that like if my fever breaks, and because it wouldn't break, like I was taking medicine, my fever would not break for like 3 days. I was like, if my fever breaks, then I won't lucid dream anymore. And I went to sleep and I do not remember having any sort of a dream about that, but I did wake up, my fever was broken, and I have not had a lucid dream since. So I literally don't know what that means. And if anything, it's really hard to think about because I'm just like, it was so real, and I can very vividly remember being there for like the whole dream and what everything looked like and how futuristic and alien it was. And it was actually really scary. Like when I woke up, I was so paranoid that I wasn't going to be able to remember it. And I was so sick that it was like really hard to even like write it down. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts or if anybody else has had any experience like this. Essentially, like I don't want to be like we are stuck in a matrix or anything like that, because maybe dreams are just weird things. But considering I've had psychic dreams, I have dreams about people's deaths, like when they die, I have like premonitions, and that's really connected to the real world. I'm just sort of like, I don't know what to make of this dream. And like I said, it's been 2 months and I don't think I've woken up in a dream since. So that's that.